Today, what's going to happen is basically we're going to go through the best films of the decade in our personal opinion. So let's just jump right into it.
تو یه دلیل بیار چرا باید بمونی.
من 1000 تا دلیل برات میارم.
یکیشو بگو.
یکیش پدرم. من پدرمو نمیتونم ول کنم. بازم بگم؟
ولی زن تو میتونی ول کنی.
من کی تو رو ول کردم؟ تو منو کشوندی
کردی؟
دادگاه.
تو
برای من دادخواست طلاق فرستادی من کشوندی اینجا از زندگی منو انداختی.
برو این اسمش ول کردن نیست. حاج آقا همین الان نگفت اگه میخواد بره.
بله الان هم میگم.
It's about a lot more than divorce. But you could also spoil the entire movie, so I won't do that at all.
It's about how messy people are.
Yeah. It's Brody and I were just saying before, a comedy of errors wouldn't really be appropriate, but a tragedy of errors might be.
And now everyone has their reasons, and it's just
it's a snowball. It's so good.
چیه؟ بابا خواب بود با در روش قفل کنی بری؟ داشت میمرد من رسیدم. خانم بیا برو
I have to say, it reminded me of a bit of Back to the Future with so many Chekhov's guns. Like every single thing, no matter how small, you're like, oh, that's a nice little slice of life moment. No, it's
it pays off later.
I'm interested in gigging here.
Okay, let's hear something.
You don't want to hear the record?
Why should I? You're here. Play me something. Play me something from inside Llewyn Davis.
Oscar Isaac is a folk musician who can't help but get in his own way. It sort of has a cyclical nature to it, and it sort of feels a bit like watching a folk song. It's a bit funny, it's a bit sad.
There's a wall that he's just continuously like hitting.
Yeah.
And he wants to kind of be there.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of the genre.
But it's like he's not able to make compromises.
Yeah.
So it's like he thinks that the world's just gonna be like, oh, you're a genius, dude. Like, you can go on the stage, you can do all these things. But it's like, no, you kind of have to do the hardships. You put your name on the paper of a crappy song. You do things like that. And it's like he doesn't get that.
You should be wearing condom on condom and then wrap it in electrical tape. You should just walk around always inside a great big condom because you are shit.
Okay.
You should not be in contact with any living thing being shit.
Have you ever heard the expression, it takes two to tango?
You.
The dialogue is great. The Coen brothers are so great at screenwriting, so like even little moments with characters are just very funny. The music's also great. I think Oscar Isaac actually sings the songs, as does Karen Mulligan and Justin Timberlake. John Goodman's also good in it.
What I love about it is it's the story that you don't hear. It's the story of the guy that didn't make it. He's not Bob Dylan.
It's like the underdog tale where he's just an underdog.
He could have been. He was like that close. He was in the scene. He was around at the same time, but he just missed the boat.
제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 거선배는 김치모 그는 이사촌.
This is a film on a lot of our lists, I believe. A film that you're like, wow, this is such a unique sort of perspective in the world, a unique circumstance. That's the perfect place to make a film about something like this.
This is a film that turns left.
Yes.
You did not. It just doesn't.
I went into it not even watching the trailer, and like I had no idea what genre it is, and even like halfway through, I'm like, oh, now it's gonna be a twist. And it's like, what the.
So like you're driving along, you're like, man, this is a lovely neighborhood, and man, just gotta get the. Oh my God, where am I? What's happening? This is terrible. Oh God.
지금 진짜로 이상한 게 온 것 같아.
Going in, it's a great movie to go in with no knowledge.
Yeah, highly recommend. Thoroughly entertaining film.
Redemption. I just want to go on the streets and just break things.
That's your review for The Raid.
Yeah, it's just gonna be quick cuts of me going. The thrill. It's the same thing, but when we watched it, I watched it with Brody. And just the tension from the beginning just doesn't stop, and the choreography in The Raid is amazing. And the great thing about The Raid is the lead villain, or
bad dude.
Yeah, obstacle you have to tackle. Antagonist at the end is from The Raid 1 and 2 actually antagonists in John Wick 3, which I noticed, and that reminded me of The Raid, because it's so great to see both of them. Yeah. And they're such amazing, like, martial artists, and they're so good with their choreography that it's like, oh, you had to bring him in this, right?
Yeah. Those films also look so fun to make.
What, like John Wick, or like those action films?
Any of those, John Wick or like The Raid, they're just like, man, that looks like looks like it's gonna be fun on set.
I think it's so much fun.
It's like, just one more take.
Ask these people to keep like throwing
just
these
crazy stuff. So there is the sergeant, I believe he's a sergeant or captain at the police station, and he gets a group of SWAT members, or cops on the force, and they all have to raid this giant tower. And they're going up the levels, and pretty much tension builds as the head honcho in the drug ring for the building finds out. And I don't really want to go in more, because the moment he finds out, the tension goes up, and it's crazy. But
it's a real hits the fan movie.
Yeah, I'm like, anyone should watch The Raid. You will get your blood pressure's gonna go up. You're gonna have to go and get it yourself checked. Like, oh man,
the fight scene at the end.
Oh, with Rama, his brother, versus Mad Dog. Mad Dog. Don't want to run into him in an alleyway, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. Say no more.
Oh, I'm heating up already just talking about it, guys.
Also, it's really hot in this room.
No, but like, seriously, it's beautiful, beautiful movie.
Do they know I'm black?
Should they?
You might wanna,
Mom and Dad, my black boyfriend will be coming up this weekend. I just don't want you to be shocked that he's a black man.
I ain't never seen you like this before, bruh. Meeting family, taking road trips. Don't come back all bougie, man. Come back, get your damn pants up to your damn stomach.
Look, I don't like horrors. I cannot stand them for the life of me. I cannot watch them. I watched 2 horror films in my life. Psycho and Get Out.
At least they're 2 very good horror films.
Get Out.
So you don't like the genre? Why?
It scares me.
You've seen 2 great ones.
It scares me.
I feel like when Jordan Peele, they stopped doing Key and Peele, and kind of news came out that he was doing a horror movie, and it was his big kind of feature debut as a director, and I was like, yeah, horror, okay.
I will say, I don't think Get Out was ever a particularly terrifying film.
No,
it wasn't like a horror that, it's definitely a lot about this, almost at times more of a thriller, not that it doesn't have lots of horror elements.
You could argue, devil's advocate, that it didn't scare us at all because we're all white guys.
Yeah, probably.
I'm good, actually.
You ready for this?
I'm back in the beat.
So look, I go do my research. Apparently, a whole bunch of brothers been missing in this suburb. But it's cool. Bro, how you not scared of this, man?
Good to see another brother around here.
Yeah.
But there's also, the themes of segregation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, those themes are usually done, from, certain sides, or I've never seen a side do it with liberal racism. Because usually, when there's, racism in a film, it's get back in the barn. It's boys,
but
and it's instead of that, it's like you said, it's I voted for Obama twice,
and I would have done it for a 3rd term.
Boo! There you are. Boo!
This is a film that as an adult, I don't get spooked, but it is a creepy film. It's unsettling.
It is very disturbing.
Yeah. And I love horror, and I stopped loving the genre as I got older because it didn't really work on me anymore.
Too many jump scares.
Yeah,
too many.
And this totally, I left the theater being oh, it totally reinvigorated. I was like, oh man, I love this genre so much. It's all in old English, and it got.
Feels
infuriatingly mixed reviews with people that just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Or they can not like it. But I don't want to say too much.
You've curse this family.
Black Phillip's awesome.
Dude, why do you have to keep calling him? I just call him Philip, you know?
But they call him, no.
It's pretty weird that you keep doing that.
Because his name's Black Phillip, he's a black goat.
This
Whoa, whoa, let's slow down here.
But yeah, I mean that's The Witch for me. That's a huge highlight of this decade.
The Queen is an extraordinary person.
They were all staring, weren't they? I can tell even if I can't see, and I heard the word fat, and ugly.
No one but me would dare, and I did not.
I apologize for my appearance. I hoped I might be employed here by you. As something. A monster for the children to play with, perhaps.
So it's set during the reign of Elizabeth I. She's a bit nutty. It gets revealed she has a lesbian lover. This lesbian lover is kind of managing the country because she has her ear. And this other woman, Emma Stone, comes into the equation and she's like a mess, but she's come from a horrible situation. So she learns really quickly to play games to get ahead politically.
Anyone who's basically not of, the social elite at that time is coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Like everybody in that, so like anybody in Emma Stone's place would basically do what she would do.
Yeah,
given the
you
opportunity.
can actually understand her actions.
Yeah.
You still sometimes don't know whether to root for her or against her.
Yeah.
In her power struggle with Rachel Weisz over the Queen's affection, and just their power struggles of going against each other is really entertaining.
Enjoying all of this, aren't you?
Oh, it is fun to be queen sometimes.
If you do not go, I will start kicking you. And I will not stop.
My dear friend, how good to see you've returned from hell. I'm sure you shall pass through it one day.
Not a comedy, but it's so funny at so many moments.
Yeah.
You just it's like laugh out loud funny, even though it's like...
It's like
so
laughing
tragic.
while the world's ending, sort of funny.
Nightcrawler.
Scary.
Creepy crawlies.
How can he see it? The dark.
He doesn't walk, he crawls.
It's so dark outside.
Better crawl.
We're first! Go around, get a shot inside the car! Hey, back away! I got it, I'm back! Will this be on television? Morning news, if it bleeds, it leads. Are you currently hiring?
This weird introverted loner character who has almost no real sense of... he's able to understand other people's senses of values and ethics, but he has no ethics of his own, and he realizes that he can make a lot of money videotaping, horrific car accidents or crimes and sell it to the news. The most sensationalist, the more sensationalist and better the footage, the more it's gonna pay. It's just such a gross world. It's so icky. It's so good to see him as this scummy, wiry loser.
I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. Excuse me, I have something you'll be very excited about.
You have a good eye. I want you to contact me when you have something.
Something like this.
Think of our newscast as a screaming woman running down the street with her throat cut.
You will be seeing me again.
He spends so much time convincing people.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to win them over and he's got all the facts. And it's like, that's not how you talk to someone.
And he's got this vision for himself in his head, and he's just nuts.
Yeah.
To get you there, getting back. That's your concern.
Oh, this is awesome.
Whoa. No way.
The thing what's great about this film is it makes every dumb horror film seem like a genius sort of thing. It almost gives every other horror film that you've ever seen that was terrible this backstory.
Talking about films that just turn left, it's kind of everything that Rian Johnson hoped to do with Star Wars by subverting the genre.
Yeah.
They've done well.
Yeah. Well, they really deconstruct the genre, and it kind of explains any horror film, with the style it goes into. But I don't want to go into the spoilers of it about it. But I just love the contrast between the two office workers, which is I just love their chemistry. Their chemistry is great. I think they steal the show. They're much better than the teens, and the way they manipulate.
Oh, they're
things
hilarious.
Yeah,
Not in a way that it detracts from anything, though.
Yeah, but they're definitely the show stealers. Like,
I think the teens are meant to be like, you know, obvious.
We've also seen those characters before.
Yeah,
We've never
exactly.
seen, like, what...
That's like the intent, though. I think.
Yeah, part of it's they're playing characters, and they're kind of caricatures of a certain role in horror films, and that's part of the deconstruction.
Department's fault, right? Where do you work again? Wait, it's coming back to me now. It's gonna be a long weekend if everyone's that puckered up. So you want to come over Monday night? I'm gonna pick up some power drills, liberate my cabinets. Are you even listening to me?
I will finish what you started.
There are stories about what happened.
Regardless of how it fucked up at the end, I think it set a really, really good starting point. Kind of, hit the reset button. Kind of did a bit of, restart of A New Hope, but that's okay. Like, that's kind of what you need. You need familiarity, and you need, like, also, like, you need a dynamic of familiarity and fresh.
They rhyme.
Huh?
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Another great Oscar Isaac performance, in my opinion.
Another one. I completely went past me. How many have we said?
The chameleon.
I'm not sure if...
Is he in the room right now?
Where is he?
Oscar Isaac here.
Go get him out of here. Come on.
This whole time.
In The Force Awakens, he was originally meant to die after he rescues Finn.
But, like, how can you after...
The test screenings, the audiences loved him so much they kept him.
Yeah, which is fair enough. Like, you disagreed, but I still maintain that he acted the shit out of the Rise of Skywalker, and he does the exact same thing in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
He's just a really, really good character, and I really love him.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not sure if it's like the introduction of Adam Driver for all of you, but it was the introduction for me. And I'm Driver, man.
Helmet off, and I was just like, oh, it's the guy from Girls.
The first time I saw him was in Girls, and the show wasn't that great, but I was like, he's awesome in this, and he was mine, and now he's everyone's.
I just thought it was just a really, really solid reintroduction to the franchise, despite what many people think.
Every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
You arise from the ashes of this world.
And talk about a film that works in a cinema.
Yeah, that Sandstorm cinema is amazing.
Well, I think there's a lot of shots that makes it feel like a rush.
Yeah.
So having it in the cinema with a big screen and like those Russian shots and spectacle.
I noticed he did this in Happy Feet as well, but I was watching it behind the scenes for Fury Road, and in all the action shots, he said to his cameraman, screw framing kind of nicely, and like they usually do the left or the right of the frame. He said film in the middle so that the audience's eye doesn't have to keep darting around. The action's happening right in the center of the frame.
Yeah.
Just the opposite of like Transformers.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of one of those movies.
Or like Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, like something like that. Like where the action sequences are just a mess.
Cuts every 0.5 of a second.
And just blur.
Cut.
Yeah.
Here's a situation. Serious.
Mrs. O'Dwyer was abducted. She is my everything, and those savages have got her.
These people get killed by this cannibal tribe. They're cannibals. They've got their throats removed, and they've got these things planted in their throats, so they make these like noises to each other. So this tribe kill a few people in the town, and the sheriff's not having that. And
he's having none of that.
No, he's having none of that.
No.
I'm talking about Kurt
Not
Russell.
in my town.
But he gathers a small posse together, so they've got to go to the tribe, like in their like cave and stuff, and it's just like the journey there.
Don't be scared. I am a friend.
You aren't.
Damn you! You had no cause. If you
you want to question my morals, do it later.
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive.
And also, like, they're in the West where it's like just the trip there is really dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, bandits can come.
Just going to the next town, get you messed up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of world they're living in. And action scenes and stuff when they get there are so intense.
Yeah.
And like awesome and realistic, but hyper violent. And you're honestly like,
How violent
your
is
heart's
talking?
in your throat. At the same time, it's not just that. There's a lot of character moments where you get to learn everyone's story.
It's time and aggression. You gotta be there.
Sorry, guys. Gotta clear up. Follow me.
And then it's over.
It's about this band, and one of their gigs sort of drops out, and they need the money, so they play this really random spot, and they find out it's sort of like a skinhead venue. While they're in the green room, the area that, like, you know, the band has all their like stuff, and they witness something, and now they need to get off the fucking property as soon as they fucking can, and the skinheads don't want them to leave the property. So, yeah, it's like, well, it's sort of this it has so many sort of little twists in it in terms of this really well structured film. Moments of the story turns, like they have an objective to get out of there, and then they have an objective to stay in there for the like as long as they can, and it's just going really back and forth.
Gentlemen, I hope you appreciate the situation. Things have gone south. Let's be clear. This won't end well.
Patrick Stewart plays the bad guy, and he's menacing as fuck.
I'm interested as hell in that.
It's a role you've been waiting for so bad for Patrick Stewart to play somebody who's not this lovable, charming,
super intelligent.
It's a violent, visceral film. If you enjoy tense, visceral films, I would highly recommend just going in and surrounding yourself in the dread of this film.
Hello.
How do you feel about her?
Oh man, she's amazing.
You're impressed?
Yes.
Do you want to be my friend?
Of course. Now the question is, how does she feel about you?
My boy, the chameleon. The chameleon.
The cam. So I'm going to open it up by saying I could watch Oscar Isaac dance any night of the week.
All night of the week.
Any day. Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
We need to learn that dance.
I really loved Ex Machina because I felt like it was a really fun film, but I felt like it was probably more and more as the years go by a really important thing to think about.
Yeah, and the AI conversation is really...
Yeah, the conversation it brings up with AI.
I love the relationship that develops between the human and the AI and how it progresses throughout the film and where it ends up taking him.
Yeah, I just like Oscar Isaac's acting and...
He's so good.
How you're always questioning it. You're always questioning what's the actual motives behind the characters, and I think it's a really solid film for the decade.
I love the design of that film so much. I just love, I know that seamless, really sleek, it's not too distant future. I always love a not too distant future sort of film where it's like, it's only like 20 years or like 30 years from now. And so there's enough changes that it feels not of the same world, but it doesn't feel completely foreign. And they hit the nail on the head with that.
I feel like they've got really sleek designs with like interior shots.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of nature and very natural scenic signs outside.
Yeah.
And that's compared to like the sleek and like
this
very
great juxtaposition.
You tore up her picture.
I'm gonna tear up the fucking dance floor, dude. Check it out.
Connor currently has 32 people on his personal payroll.
Sure, Connor surrounds himself with people who are agreeable.
The film is really, really solid. Hilarious performances by everyone on board. And what happens is Andy Samberg's character, called Connor for real, he after the band has a little bit of falling out, he goes solo and kind of makes it big, and it just tracks his like second album release, because the first one was really, really huge, and they're just really anticipating the second one. And yeah, they just basically follow that and the aftermath and how everything pans out.
Basically, every music biopic ever written.
It's just parody of that, and it's really, really funny, and they get it all on the nose.
Stand up on your tippy toes, look them dead in the eye, and say, Mom, Dad, you can both.
I really, really love the film. There's one thing I'm a little bit disappointed about, is that they cut one of the songs from the movie, and it's called and it's just really, really hilarious.
I'm gonna go with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I feel like people enjoyed this. You're just gonna turn all of my movies into.
Okay. Chill.
So Daniel, what's your next pick?
Don't need anything else. No.
What I do love
Into the pick with clips from the trailer.
What I do love about this film, and it's been said to death already, but
wait, do you actually want to say something?
No. You say something, then I'll jump in after.
Okay.
We kind of just jumped in there.
What I do love is
weren't you saying like a big thing about this movie that's great? It's like it finally gets Spider-Man.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Spider-Man.
It's like, no, Chris, remember when you said that?
You said that like it's like this is really good.
Remember you saw Homecoming and you were like, they didn't get Spider-Man at all.
Well, actually, I think on that, Homecoming did fine. I think that portrayal of Spider-Man was fine. But I think one of the... I don't know how many times am I going to have to do the synopsis.
Okay, guys, that's it for this particular episode. Be sure to stick around for part 2 coming in the next week. Have a good one.